Going live. Done redirecting to YouTube. Okay. Now I'm gonna X out of this, but we're still gonna be there, correct?
Yeah,
All right. I hope so. Are we still there?
I'm still here
Okay, you're still and we're still live, I hope. I don't know if we are. I'm assuming we
on
are.
YouTube. I can check.
Okay.
It looks live.
Okay. Cool, 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 cool. All right. So am I actually hitting record now to record this, or am I just saying it to you? Because then I have it recorded.
Um, how about let's just record. Do you want to read it or
Is everyone what happens if you start using dating apps, then start a podcast talk about the then you move to Austin, start therapy school for therapy, then you start a second podcast. You
you're welcome to editorialize it or not do
nah.
that.
The rest of us wherever you go on podcasts and not on Spotify or listen to it on addictquote.com. My so-called it's a real mess sometimes.
The
Okay.
real mess sometimes. I really don't like that, but I you have to say the name of the podcast 3 times, I
Okay,
think.
I'm gonna
That's
say
the
it.
rule.
At this public talk on my so-called mess because it gets messy.
It gets messy. Nice.
Okay, so my record where am I recording this?
Just record it into Audacity and then save that file and then start a new. You know how you can like save the file but don't like export it? You just save it, save
Yeah.
the project. Oh. All right, just record it in Audacity real quick.
Okay. All right, 1 second. Here we go. Have you ever wondered what happens if you start using dating apps, then start a podcast to talk about how those dates went? Well, then you move to Austin to start school for therapy. Not, I wasn't in, oh, so that.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
change it to what you were doing.
Okay, let me go. I'm doing it again. I just ended that, so
Yeah,
that's a
just
new one.
well then just exit out. Like I think you can delete a
If,
track. I don't know.
if I just hit record again, is that one still going to be there?
Yeah, probably. Um, I forgot how Audacity looks. There's usually a little X next to it, or you can select the audio and then hit Control A and then delete or backspace, and it will just go away.
Audio clips. Um, should I just exit and start again?
Yeah. Or yeah, just start again and I'm gonna edit it together, like with
Okay.
music and stuff.
Okay, well, I just had to open Audacity again because,
In fact, don't even stop recording. Just if you mess up, pause and then start again.
okay. Have you ever wondered what happens if you start using dating apps and then decide to start a podcast to talk about how those dates went? Then a few years later, you decide to move to Austin and at the same time start school to be a mental health counselor. Then you start a second podcast, but as things happen, you have a falling out with your co-host. So now we're back down to one podcast, the best podcast. And we've all been there, right? So I'm Rachel, and please join me and my co-host Eddie as we overshare everything every week on my so-called mess. Get my so-called mess on your podcast app, on any app you want to use, not Spotify. Or you can also listen to it on fitspublic.com. My so-called mess, because it gets real messy.
All right, just hit stop
Okay?
and then go to File and then
Save project.
Save Project.
And
And it
then
might ask you
save project as.
just like promo or something.
Save project is, wait, file, save project. It says save project is for an Audacity project, not for an audio file. For an audio file that will open in other apps, use export.
Can you do that then? Just do export as MP3, like if you were gonna upload the podcast, and then
Export MP3.
it doesn't matter what it's called, just whatever that metadata is fine.
It just says untitled. So
Yeah,
if I
that's
put
that's fine.
promo, I'll find it better. save. And then it comes to the tag where it gives me the metadata tag
Skip that stuff or just leave whatever's in there. And
and
that's
just hit
fine.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And then start a new,
So I close this one out again.
or just hit new project, like go to file and then new.
New. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, that's all I had to do.
I
Why is there
guess.
no? Okay. You ready? So for
Yeah.
those of you behind the scenes, you just got to see our promo. That's what we do here. We are promo people.
That's what we do here. This is the first time we've done this in like 4 years. Like, this is the first time we've ever done it. I don't think that's
You're
what we
right, but
do.
I
That's
just
what
like
we
to
do
make it
here
sound.
now.
So we do here now. That's our new thing. All right, so I'm going to hit record now. Boom, 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 boom. Speed sounds different. Do, 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 do. Hey, y'all, it's Rachel and Eddie, and this is my so-called mess. So welcome to the mess. Hey, Eddie.
Hey, welcome to the mess. I
I
like
know
it.
I like that. That just popped in my head from the promo we just did. So there's a promo coming, y'all, and I like it.
It's- that's pretty hot.
Yeah, my new thing. That's what I do. I don't know where that's coming from today either.
We've got big podcasting energy today.
Well, I think I'm finally not, and so what was the word you used?
Flustered, I think was the word I
Yeah,
used.
I've been flustered these past few weeks. So sorry for y'all if we've missed a week or two. I don't even know how long it's been. Maybe just a week. Um,
Yeah,
but
I
yeah,
think a week or two. You've just been so busy and it's been hard to tie you down.
yeah. Well, I see. Besides my regular work and my coaching, not that I do a lot of coaching right now, and I teach a couple of yoga classes, which I need to cut back on that too. And I work part-time. Then I have school, which has assignments, and this week I had 3 assignments due. Two of them were PowerPoint presentations. Two of them were actual presentations where I had to like live give a presentation. And then right after that, I had to record a presentation with a group.
Hmm.
So this week was last week was insane. But yeah, and then I have school and then I see like anywhere between 10 to 17 clients a week, just depending on the week. So
Yeah, that's a lot.
yeah.
Do you talk a lot in the client meetings or do they talk mostly?
Depends on the client meeting. I am a little chat, as you know, I can be a little chatty.
Hmm.
So I do talk. I offer some assistance. Sometimes like I feel like I talk less when I work with couples.
Oh, couples. And you're a therapist? What?
Yeah, well, not I'm not.
I wrote that into the promo and I'm like, I don't know much about Rachel at all.
So I'm in school for clinical mental health. So yes,
Oh,
I will
okay.
be a licensed professional clinical mental health counselor, therapist.
Right.
But right
So
now I'm an intern.
the people who are conferencing you have already been diagnosed, or it's like,
The people who I see, some have already been diagnosed, semi-diagnosed.
oh wow, dang,
Yep.
damn girl. That's what I'm
Under the
gonna say to
care,
them.
under the care of my supervisor.
Right. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I do it all. Treatment plans.
Can you write prescriptions
No,
for weed?
no,
No. Okay.
no, but you know what sucks? So I don't even
That's a
smoke.
psychiatrist, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
So I don't even like smoke weed, but I live in Austin and they voted to decriminalize weed.
Really? Wow.
Just a while back. And our governor, senator, I don't know the fuck. Don't ask me politics. I know I should know who does what, but doesn't really love Austin so much because Austin's like not the same as the rest of all of Texas, I guess. But they just took away that law in Austin, not the Austin people. It was voted on in Austin, and then the head people took that away this week.
That's so stupid. Like, I feel like um taking away rights. That's just
Yeah.
so dumb. It's just
Hmm.
so real regressive backwards bullshit.
Yeah.
Um yeah, I've been really bummed out by politics lately. Like it's been, if I wake up at night, it'll kind of give me anguish or angst or something.
Mm.
And it's helpful to talk to Meg about it and stuff, but like we're gonna see my parents soon, and my parents like are conservative Christian, and I'm just like not ready for it. So she encouraged me to call them, and I talked to them, and then I kind of poked it a little bit. Like, I don't think they want to talk about politics with me, but I was like, oh, we're going to talk. We're going to talk about all these deportations that are happening because, we're a Latin American family. Like, this
Yeah,
is kind of important. And I think it's just a familiar feeling. It always ends up where I forget that it ends up in the same place. And it
mm,
always ends up like, they think that I am reading and consuming brainwashed media, and I think that they are reading and consuming brainwashed media. And there is no way to bridge that gap, really. It's like, well, you need to stop. You basically need to stop listening and reading the things you're reading.
yeah, it is.
Because,
That is hard because everyone thinks, I mean, I know I'm right, but
yeah, I know. Like, I talk to so many people who know that I'm right.
but like it is when they're like, but no, you're reading the stuff that's, but then it's like, but then you see it in other, read it from other countries. Yeah, I don't get it, but it is like no matter what happens, like they're like, no, it's doing good. I don't understand.
I don't think
Like,
they're necessarily in support of Trump, but they're just like all of the people who are being deported are like criminals, and
mm,
they have a chance to come back to the United States like through legal processes, but they were here illegally. And then I was like, what about that student that got deported who was on a student visa? And they're like, that's because they were protesting Gaza, and you can't do violent protests in this country. And I'm just like, boy, I don't know. I don't know why you guys believe all this stuff, but
well, like, and there's kids being pulled out of school, but
yeah, like
that's
a 2-year-old got deported. I don't think that 2-year-old was doing anything nefarious.
no, and no legal represent, like no adults in court with them or anything. Just
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a
yeah, it is.
bummer.
It is. It is. And it just keeps getting worse. Every time I open the thing and they're like, defunding of the suicide hotline. I just did a huge project on the suicide hotline.
Yeah.
Defunding of Narcan, but we're also anti-fentanyl and we want to like end the fentanyl crisis, but
Oh, I
we're gonna
got
take away
one.
Narcan.
Yeah, Narcan's like this. It's like saving people who were overdosing, and
Mhm.
it's like too good.
Well,
It's
if you
too
didn't do
effective.
drugs, you wouldn't need it,
That's kind of what they said, right?
right? Yeah.
Um, Yeah, man, that reminds me of like abstinence education. Like, fuck that shit. I remember in junior high or middle school, as it's called some places, there was this whole abstinence like assembly,
Mhm.
and we went to it, and the thing that they did that was grossest was they chewed up an Oreo and spit it into a glass and then offered it to someone to drink it, and they're like, that's like making out. So that was disgusting. And then they passed out these like pledges at the end to pledge to remain abstinent. And I remember one of my friends wasn't signing it, but I was kind of just like, goody two shoes, like, oh, we have to do what they tell us to do. And he's like, I'm not signing it, neither should you. And I was like, okay, are we gonna get in trouble though? But um what an enlightened soul my friend was, and
Yeah.
how I was just marching in line for so long.
And we didn't have abstinence training.
You
We had
didn't?
HOBAG. No, we had HOBAG training. No, I don't remember, but we
Mhm.
didn't. Um, I feel like the only thing I remember, and I don't think it was middle school, the only thing I remember was in, was it fifth grade? Which some people are, maybe it was sixth grade, and some people's middle school starts in sixth grade. Ours was just seventh and eighth grade. So we
Mhm.
were still in elementary school. And they separated the boys and the girls. And the girls learned about their period, which I already had had my period since like third or fourth grade. So like, thanks. And they like put a tampon in water or showed us pads. That's all I remember from that. But I feel like in high school, we did take sex ed class, but I don't remember. Maybe I kind of remember learning about like diseases. And then I don't know. We were supposed to watch a birthing video,
Oh, wow.
but you could opt out of it. And it wasn't because I didn't, was because I was anti-birth. I was like, I get sick, watch it. Like, I was like, I don't want to watch that shit. So I don't know if I forged it or my parents signed it for me, but I wandered the hallways during that video. We were supposed to go do something else, but I have this memory of wandering the halls.
Yeah, no, birth is like real. I don't think I ever watched one either. Even on the eve of my first child being born, because they're like, you should watch this. Like a lot of people were like, you might want to know what's gonna happen. But I didn't, and I don't know. I'm probably like you. I would have been grossed out by it. Like just seeing like guts and blood on screen makes me queasy.
Mhm.
But when it's like guts and blood that you care about in real life, it's different maybe.
Yeah, that's
I don't
right.
know. That's probably not for everybody, but I've seen
Yeah,
two births before.
that's crazy. I've seen zero now that I think back because I didn't watch that video.
Yeah. I was well prepared for the second one. That first one, I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Did you do like, did you have a midwife or a doula?
Athens Regional had, or it's called Piedmont. They have midwives. Like it's like seven or eight different midwives that you visit with all of them. Like they
Mm,
do like your visits. They do
gotcha.
your health checks up until the baby's born. And then on the day of, it's like one of them's on call. So you're kind of familiar with all of them, you know.
Okay. Yeah, I
Um
guess that's one of the many things I won't ever see in my life.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like it can it can really make an impact on you. I feel like I'm definitely like almost it's almost like traumatizing.
Because I was gonna, yeah.
And I think that at least for a while, especially when you're at the playground with your newborn, or not your newborn, like your toddler, you look around at all the other people there and it's like you've all been to war or something where you're all like,
Mm,
oh, you guys, you've seen some shit. Literally
yeah.
seen some shit.
Yeah, and and yeah, I did thankfully never witnessed that, but I think it would be hard too, like this person now birthed your child,
Right, yeah.
assuming, and then to go back, it's never going to be like the same. You saw things, you're right.
It's
I don't know
like,
how to describe
well, I
myself.
mean, Meg is a goddess for like creating life and like bringing it into this world. I feel
Yeah.
like there's no real, I have such reverence for what she did that it was kind of like, whoa, damn, this is insane next level stuff. But it is the confluence of like sex and orgasm and life
Mhm.
and death. And it's a very, if you can be aware and take it in and be like mindful of everything that's going on, you can really learn a lot about existence in those moments.
Interesting.
Um, but maybe not. I don't know. It's different for everybody.
That's yeah,
Some people hate it.
I'm sure. Did you catch the babies?
I caught the second one. First one, I was like, what do I do? I think I cut the thing.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, it was nasty. I don't know why we're talking about it.
I don't remember how we got here. Sex
Yeah.
ed.
Oh, sex ed.
Yeah.
Right. I took sex ed in sixth grade, which
Yeah, I guess
seems kind of early.
that's what my period video class was. So I guess that is mini sex ed. But
Yeah.
I think we might have had a little bit sprinkled in like I feel like okay, this is what I kind of remember. We had PE
Um,
and then you also had a health class like in middle school we'd have like a week on health
mhm.
in PE. We'd have like do we have like STI, STD classes or something? Because that's feel like what they taught us. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think I think health classes just have to deal with it, especially in high school. You have to talk about condoms, right?
Yeah, I think so. I loved my health teacher.
You did?
Yeah, she was my favorite teacher. Don't remember who it is or why I loved her, but I have this feeling deep in my soul that I absolutely loved my health teacher. And she was upset that I wouldn't watch the video.
I feel like I'm making this up, and maybe we've talked about this before, but I know that my health teacher in high school's name was Ms. Wood, which is funny, but I'm either sure that we called her this or maybe her name was Constance, but that seems impossible, right?
Winston Wood.
Yeah. And then I think I also might have I know I had in middle school a gym teacher named Mr. Butts, and everyone would call him Seymour Butts, but that couldn't have been his name.
No.
I don't live in a comic book. Like these are like comic book names that I remember for these people.
I told her this before. I had this. So in high school, we had a satellite program,
Hmm.
which went to, I think it was a college in South Carolina. And they had like a satellite in the classroom where we were actually like part of the class.
Okay.
And at least for the class, so they had Russian, Chinese, these are the classes you could take, and macro and microeconomics, maybe one other thing. And you had to like apply for it, and it was like a big deal to get in. And it was me, my neighbor, this other kid that I went to Hebrew school with, and this like very, I think he was in it, and this very, very smart, like perfect student, never got in trouble, like goody goody girl. Like we were like, what are we doing in here? We're in a college class. We think we're special. We would do such things to like mess with that class. But we had a proctor
Oh yeah.
who was a teacher who's had to just sit in our class and watch us to make sure we weren't being too unruly. And her name was Miss Sackasitz.
Massachusetts?
So we called her Miss Sackatitz.
Oh, well, was she well endowed?
Yes, and to my memory, now, is this just my memory? I don't
Right,
know.
yeah, yeah, it is, right?
In my
Right.
memory, she had huge boobs. We called her Miss Sackatitz. And when we got in trouble, we yelled at her and called her Miss Sackatitz to her face.
Yeah, okay, so we had pretty much the same. We went to the same school, or
Yeah,
maybe this happens to everybody. I don't know. I'd find it I'd find it strange to not go through, primary school and not have a teacher with like a name that you make into another name,
yeah.
right?
I'm sure other teachers do. The only other teacher's name I could think of right now was Mr. Noddle. And the only reason I remember Mr. Noddle from fourth grade was because he had an air hockey um table,
Hmm.
air hockey table, in his classroom that you got to like earn points to use. And did you have this also? Did you have where somebody always threw up in your classroom, like especially on a Friday, at like the end of the day, like walking out of the classroom, like the line between the door and the hallway, someone always threw up.
No, no, we
Oh
didn't
my,
have much throw up.
oh my God, we had so many people puking in that place. And I remember throwing up at my desk. I didn't want to get up. It was like first grade. I didn't want to ask my teacher to get up, I guess. So I opened I just like, we had a desk that no, it didn't have a top. Some of our desks had like the top you could open. I think this one, I just stuck my head in and threw up. And I wasn't the only one that did that.
Yeah, I'm sure that happens a lot. Because like when you're in school, you don't want to make a target of yourself.
No.
Speaking of that, I took my oldest daughter's 10. I took her to the orthodontist yesterday.
Mm,
And that was quite an experience because we got there and they were like, "Is there anything?" They sat her in a chair and they talked to her. They didn't talk to me as much, which
mm,
I thought was pretty cool because usually in like medical situations, doctors are always speaking to the responsible adult in the room.
yeah,
But they were just talking directly to her and they're like, "Is there anything about your smile that you don't like?" And she's like, "No, I think it's fine. I think it's like perfect." And that's awesome. Like she's so cool. Like she's so cool to say that, but she's got
yeah,
like wonky teeth and everything and she's like, "I like the way my teeth look." And kind of the reason I was taking her there though is because like next year she'll be in or no, she'll have 2 years, but she'll be in middle school soon. And I feel like middle school people are so mean about like crooked teeth and stuff. Um, she definitely has like teeth growing in on other permanent teeth, so
mm,
there is a problem that she will need correction for, but they're pretty cool about like not forcing braces on everyone. But braces was a thing also
Braces,
from.
everybody wanted braces too back in the day. I also had this remind me of the story. So my grandmother never had hers fixed. She had a gap
Mhm.
between her front teeth, like that supermodel. What was her name? I don't know. But my grandma,
Woody Harrison. Woody Harrelson.
that was like Lauren, someone famous, Sophia Loren,
Ooh.
was
Yeah,
it?
Sophia Loren's famous. I don't know.
Somebody had a gap between their teeth and it was like really sexy, but my grandmother had it and she didn't get hers fixed. And I was born with the gap, but I was
Hmm.
also had, or I don't know if I wasn't born with a gap between my teeth because obviously I didn't have teeth when I was born. But I also had where the teeth next to your big teeth were longer, like I had fangy teeth.
Yeah.
And my uncle was a dentist. And I remember like, did I get made fun of? I don't know. I also probably punched somebody when they made fun of me, but I was also wanted to be like everybody else in other respects. But I remember my uncle convincing me to shave down my second teeth so they'd be shorter than my big teeth, and then filling in my gap.
He recommended that you do that?
He did it. He was like, "You should do this." Yeah, my uncle had me do it. I don't know that I had a say. It just happened.
Well, it's hurting my teeth just thinking about it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I think my other daughter's got a gap. I hope she keeps it, but I guess they'll sit her in a chair and be like, "You want to keep this gap?" And she'll be like, "Yeah," or "No."
Yeah, now I want the gap. Do would I want the gap if I had it? Probably not, but
I
maybe.
think that is the gap problem. It's like if you have the gap, everybody wants that gap. And if you don't have that gap, you're like, man, I wish I had that gap. But I don't think you can ever be happy once you've got a gap. You
Yeah,
know, you're either like you get rid of it and you regret that, or you don't get rid of it and you regret that.
yeah, yeah. But now I have this thing about the other day. I'm like, I feel like I was forced into that gap change. And then I also had braces.
I mean, this is where like parental guidance is really helpful, right? Where it's like we've lived through some stuff
Right.
and we know how mean people can be about things. We know how this world works, and we don't believe it's going to change anytime
No, I
soon.
think it's gonna go, yeah.
And
Give them a
so
fighting
it's
chance.
like, yeah, just look as beautiful as you can possibly look
Yeah,
and be as funny and cool as you possibly can be. And then you'll have like a chance to get
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. And it was funny because I do feel like I was told I was just doing this. Maybe I asked, like, I don't know. These are like my memories now. Who the fuck knows what really happened? And I had to wear a back brace at night, which sucked. And now my dad has to wear a brace. He apologizes all the time because he knows how horrible it is. But but I also was able to like wear whatever I wanted. Like I dyed my hair crazy colors. This was a long time ago before people really, before everyone really was doing. I had pink hair in middle school, back a long time ago. So yeah, but it is that like, yeah, I don't know. I have a question for you, totally off the subject. There's absolutely no segue.
Oh, that's fine. That's what this podcast
Cool,
is
cool,
about.
cool. So I'm going out of town on Friday.
Oh, you want me to watch your animals? No, I
Yes,
can't.
please. Can you
Can't do
check
it.
can you
Sorry.
check my mail?
No.
Can you water my diet? I'm about to kill another plant. I might just actually kill it and then start over when I get back. But yeah, I'm going out of town for like, also, I didn't realize it was Cinco de Mayo weekend, so I'm spending way more money than I'd planned because where I'm going, they raised the price. It's like sold out now. The day after I got my hotel room, they were sold out
Oh,
all over
wow.
town. Yeah. Who the fuck goes to Grapevine, Texas for Cinco de Mayo? I don't know. Apparently I'll find out.
Is it on the
Um,
border?
no,
Oh,
it's in Dallas area.
wow.
It's by Frisco, I think. I don't even know because I always think Frisco and Fort Worth are the same place, so I don't really know where it is. I don't
I'm
know.
most familiar with Fort Worth, but
Okay. So I'm going to the area that's by Grapevine and Flower Mound and Denton. I'm going to look at them because Grapevine, I saw a picture of the downtown and I like it reminded me of Athens a little bit downtown, and I just was like, I love it here. Just by a picture. And then I talked to my friend, a couple people who live in Denton, and they talked about like, that's a smaller college town. It's University of North Texas, but
Mhm.
it is a college town and it has like a little square. And I'm like, oh, I miss those days of like a little downtown, little walk, you know?
Yeah,
So I'm gonna check them out just to see what I think. It's near where
cool.
my site is too. But, and then I'm gonna try and maybe see somebody on the way back, but we'll see if that happens because it's not seeming to line up at the moment, of course. But
Yeah,
anyway, so
that's a cool name for a town.
which
Grapevine.
one? Grapevine, I know. It's really cute looking. So, so I'm supposed to leave Friday. It's only Tuesday. I'm not too panicked yet. Well, I am because I have anxiety, so I am panicked. Um, talking about that, my client, sorry, I'm gonna go off topic about my anxiety for a second. My client messaged me. We have like an app that we can use for them to like send me a direct message. And this client
Hmm.
was like, do you have to respond when I text you, like by law? I'm like, I couldn't tell what they were getting at. I'm like, is it like legally, do I have to respond? I said, no. And then I'm like, I think it's nice to respond. She goes, I figured maybe it was your anxiety. Cause
Wow.
yeah, so they were like, I don't, after the last time you messaged, I decided I wasn't gonna message back because I feel like that you wanted to be the last text in this thread. I'm like, okay, could be.
Oh,
Anyway,
wow. Is that
yeah,
anxiety or just like the desire to have the last word,
it's both.
final say?
It's both. Um, but anyway, so Friday, I'm at work. Is it a Friday or Saturday? I'm gonna say Friday. And my car has been fine. No, never, no car problems. I was thinking the other day, I'm like, it would suck to have car problems. I don't have a mechanic here. I don't want to go back to the car dealership. Sometimes when I'm driving, I think about that. But I've had no problems with my car. Um, and then there's this guy who somewhat cleans the area where I work. Like he picks up, but I still see empty bottles and pee can bottles, like bottles filled with pee after he's cleaned. So like, what do
You
you
have
clean?
you have a somewhat janitor,
Like in the for the parking lot.
a
Yeah.
parking lot janitor.
Yeah,
Oh,
like he's supposed to come and clean it, but like I'm like, he leaves and I'm like, that bottle full of pee is still sitting there from the day
right, right.
before, like, but I have no
That
idea.
was his bottle full of
That
pee.
could be, that could be. And I have no idea if these things are connected, but then he was leaf blowing outside of where I work. It wasn't leaves, it was like debris and garbage, right?
You're making your workplace sound like a dump.
It's not, it's just I work like by downtown Austin, so you have to figure out work right on South Congress. Like
He wasn't leaf blowing leaves. He was leaf blowing garbage and shooing away rats and
there's no
picking
rats,
banana
but
peels off the sidewalk.
people like throw their bottles down, and there's a lot of like unhoused, homeless, whatever people in the area that leave like drink things lying around, and there
Oh
is
yeah,
some leaves and stuff.
human excrement.
Yeah, there's no, thank God, no. But I was parked right where he was blowing the leaves, and he was blowing it right in my car direction.
Hmm.
I have no idea if these things are correlated, but now in my head they are because I need someone to be mad at. I get in my car to go home, same day, my check engine light comes on. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
I don't know.
And so I'm
It's
like, fuck, I'm supposed to go to I'm like panic driving. I'm like, can I even drive home? Am I gonna die on the way home? Um, no, I'm not gonna die on the way home. But what does this light mean? I was like trying to research the light. And they're like, well, it could just be this or that. And like it could be your emissions, it could be like something caught, it could be just a bad sensor. If it's yellow, you're still okay for a while. I'm like, I need to get this checked before I go to Dallas.
yeah.
And so I go to AutoZone,
Oh,
Pep Boys. I don't know, any
yeah.
of those places. Because
Oh,
they
good
have
on
that,
you. That's the next step, right?
right? So the diagnostic test. Tell me why it took me three places. The first one, no one showed up for work, so the manager had to come in on her day off. And there was no one there to do testing because she couldn't leave the store. So basically she was just stuck inside. She opened the door to tell me that. Then no one showed up. The next guy, I think he was just being lazy. He's like, machine's broken. You gotta go send to another store. Like, motherfucker, like, is this a sign? Is this a sign from universe?
No, it's like welcome to the big city,
Oh my God, damn it.
Coun
So
country girl.
I know. So finally I found another one that's open. On the way back, I realized I passed like four other auto zones, but whatever. I found one on the map and then guy was nice enough. And it came up saying like it couldn't tell what it was. Just that this it wasn't getting a sensor or something. Like, motherfucker. So again, I'm like, where do I take my car? I'm not going to the car dealership. I don't want to go to Joe Schmo on the corner because I don't know what he knows about. And also, not that a VW is like an expensive car, but it's a different system than a lot of, cars, right? Like they have their own VW stuff. So I search car fix it places. That's not what you call them.
Yeah, we could call them
Okay, I search around because you know how much,
that.
this is how much I know about cars. I search around car fix-its. And I find one in my neighborhood, like 6 minutes away. 4.9 rating with almost 1,000 reviews.
That's a good rating, good reviews.
And when I told my dad, he's like, so he had his brother do it 100 times. I'm like, Dad, no, it's like
Uh,
and they work on VWs, like it was on their thing. Yes, we do work on. But so I went there this morning. I had to drop off my car off at 7 and then Uber back. It was like gonna be like a 30-minute walk. So technically I could have walked back,
you
but
could have run.
I don't know the neighborhoods. It's really like, I don't know. I don't want to walk 30 minutes through like a homeless encampment if
Yeah,
that was a long
sometimes
way.
walks in a
Yeah,
city can be dumb.
yeah. But it's like $200 just to do the diagnostic test.
Yeah, I guess that's fine. I don't know.
So, but they keep all your records and they make like a list of like, this is what we found. This might not be a priority now. This is what you actually need fixed. Like,
Yeah.
they're not going to tell you. But so here's my question.
Okay.
That was a long-winded thing for my actual question. I don't want to be a pain in the ass.
Hmm.
I mean, I kind of am sometimes, but I took it in at 7. They did have, they were working on cars already. There were people dropping off their cars. They said they would text me after the diagnostic and then figure out like then email me about fixing it. No, I didn't actually read my email to make sure it was correct when I dropped it off. I mean, I just signed the paper. It could have been the wrong email, but they were supposed to text me after the diagnostic, and they haven't texted yet. It's almost
Mm.
noon,
Hmm.
and they should said normally we do the diagnostic and we have it out day of. They close at 5.
Yeah.
So at what time do I call and check?
You said you took it in at 8,
7.
7. I think you could call now, like after this
You
podcast. I
think
feel like,
so?
yeah, they're probably just really busy, or there's nothing wrong with it, and they'll just like push that off till the end of the day because they'll just be like,
Yeah.
there's no urgency.
Okay. Yeah. I guess. I don't
Did
know
they
because
did they just text you right now?
no, I thought they did. That's why I looked down. I'm sorry. It wasn't
No,
her.
it's
It
okay.
wasn't them. I'm like, is that them? No. And
Yeah,
they
I
seem
we take our one of our cars to a place in town, and they do like a real comprehensive job of every detail about like what you could fix. They'll like look at all your tires, they'll check your brakes,
mhm.
they'll check all your lights and fluids and signals, and they give you like a huge list of things that they could
Yeah.
do and all the prices on what they could do. And some of them are marked as like you don't have to, you could like don't worry about this, but some of them are like critical or urgent, and then
Yeah.
you get to call back and decide.
That's like what this was supposed to be, I think.
Yeah,
But they said first I'd get a text, and then I'm like, well, I did get a text from them saying I'll be getting texts.
a text saying you'll be getting text, so
Yeah,
you
like
should be getting text.
I'm on their text thread. Let me make sure just so it didn't go to spam. I'm on their text. Where is my text?
You have spam on your texts? That's
Hmm.
wild.
I got a text saying, oh, but I put them in. You have been added to receive vehicle alerts and updates.
Nice.
So it should be fine, right? Like I should get it. Spam and blocked. Trump has been back in office for 100 days. Um,
Oh no, you unblocked the spam. Here it comes.
no, I just opened the spam. So
Do you have to
yeah,
donate to
no,
Kamala in your spam?
lots of stuff like that. Like, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know, man. Car repair is insane. It's annoying.
I know.
And
You know what it is? And you know what I almost did this morning to go to my
no.
car repair, fix it, please? If I had done this and shown up there and not realized till I got there, I would have felt like the biggest asshole and never shown my face there again in my entire life. So I would have had to kind of find a new car fix it place.
Yeah.
I started ordering an Uber to go get my car fixed.
Oh, sick. Yeah. You could that that would be awkward when you got there.
And I just dropped, here are my keys. Where's your car? What if I
Back.
didn't realize that and I left and I like dropped off my keys and Ubered back home and my car was just sitting here?
Yeah, that's so it's so wild whenever you have to do something like you drop your car off and then you Uber back home. That is so different than ever before because you wouldn't have paid for a cab to get home
No, I
if
was
Uber
trying to
didn't
think.
exist. So you would have just sat in the lobby before,
Yeah,
or you would have got a friend to meet you down there with their car, and they would wait outside while you handed off your keys, and then
yeah,
they would drive you back to your house. Like that seems incredibly annoying when that
it does.
happens
And I was
too.
thinking about that too. I'm like, fuck. Like I know some people here now. I'm like, besides my cousins who live, but they live in North Austin at the moment. I'm like, I'm not calling them to have them drive all the way down south to do this.
Yeah. I've also done it. We have a truck, and sometimes I'll put my bike in the back of the truck, drive
Mm,
the truck in, and then bike home.
mm, that makes sense. Yeah, and like I said, like this wasn't like the longest drive, but it was like you have to also there are certain parts where I'm like, I don't want to walk on the street. And I'm
But
so because I'm like,
now you can get Uber to like pick you up from anything. You can get it to pick you up from like dentist appointments where
yeah.
you're like under anesthesia and stuff.
I thought you had to get a note for that because you still have to have like,
I think they're loosening it up where they're just like, you know
okay,
what? If you got
just
a
go on,
ride, like get in the car
get
with
on
that
the
dude, fine.
and here in the old Austin, you can opt in for Waymo.
Is that like Uber?
Well, it's on the Uber app. It's the driverless Ubers.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I want a robot to take me to dental surgery.
I have not done a Waymo yet. I'm afraid of it. I also don't know if they come here, but they probably would. It's supposed to be a little bit cheaper. Um,
I think it would be nice to have a self-driving car that I own.
mm,
Like, I would like to go for a hike, a beautiful hike, and not worry about how far I walk and just keep walking and walking. And then when I'm tired, call my car to come pick me up and drive me back home.
but what if you're like up a small trail?
Yeah, no, I could like get down to a road where the car
Okay,
could
okay,
pick me
okay.
up. Yeah.
Well, apparently they're going to start selling Waymos for people.
Ooh, cool. I'm all about
I,
that.
I just want to jump in. I like to see what happens when you jump in front of them because they have to stop so fast. They kind of scare me still because sometimes they get stuck and you can see them going in circles on a street, like on video, or
Oh,
like all
really?
the Waymos congregate and they like end up blocking each other in.
I was driving
Um,
home from taking one of my kids to school this morning, and the there was this moment where I was coming down the road, and then there was a car backing out of their driveway, and we were going to get to the same place at the same time. Like I could tell that that was going to happen, and I was like, this is a self-driving car's worst nightmare. Like, is this guy going to see me and they're going to stop at the end of their driveway? Or should I be a little more cautious and like slow down, even though that's like breaking the rules of the system? Like the rules of the system don't work if we don't follow them.
correct.
And I kind of just went into the other lane just in case that person didn't see. I
Did they see you?
broke the law. Yeah, they stopped. Which that's what you would assume that they would do, right?
But you
Like you
never
sh
know. Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. It's kind of bad. We have a traffic circle out by our house too, and nobody, we're not, you can't rely on people to use it correctly. So we always have to just treat it like a stop sign.
Right. Yeah, people don't know traffic. You know where I have to like I go really slow in my parking garage because when cars are you know how you have to like you're on a parking garage, right? It's not like up straight, you have to do little turns.
Hmm.
Like around those turns, people end up driving on the wrong side all the time, flying through the parking garage.
Yeah, like if it's a big car.
Even little cars, this little car, like because they came flying, because I had stopped and looked in the mirror or two and like slowly went around, and they came out of nowhere and almost hit me head on. And I was like, dude, I'm all the way edged over on my side going slow.
Yeah.
And somehow you still almost hit me head on. I hate, that's what when I think about apartment living, and there's a few things I don't like, but that's one of my major things is like, I think that also is one of the many reasons why I don't do as many things as I want to do, like in my head, because I'm like, fuck, if I want to just go out and like go grab a cup of coffee, I'm like, now I gotta go to the fucking parking garage, open the gate, wait,
Get my car out.
go in my car, make sure I don't die on the way out, then sit at the gate for it to open. And then I don't know why that little part makes like, nah, I don't need that coffee that
You got to
bad.
get one
I'll
of
just
those
stay.
like scooters, like a
And
electric
I'm afraid
scooter.
of those.
That's pretty, yeah, they're pretty exposed. Yeah, I don't know,
Yeah,
man. Like car driving is so weird and like it's dangerous.
mm,
It's very dangerous, but it's how we get places
it
quickly.
is. Because I wouldn't be able to, yeah, like this weekend. So this weekend, the only good thing is like I'm paying for the hotel, but everything else is being like, so because I'm paying so much to that, my friend's
There should
taking
be
it.
a motherfucking train between Dallas and Austin now.
I know
Like,
there's supposed to be some really nice buses.
yeah. I mean, that's still not as good as a direct, like,
No,
high-speed train.
there should be a train. I wish there was. I would, because, or you could fly there, but flying ends up costing like
Oh yeah,
hundreds of
it's like a
dollars.
30-minute flight, but
Hmm.
you'll spend 2 hours at the airport.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you're like you get delayed and then you end up getting rerouted to like
Oh
California to
no,
like
we've flown to Jacksonville from here and it's the same thing. It's like a 30-minute flight, but um you have to leave to get to the airport early,
hmm
and you have to drive to Atlanta, which is an hour and a half. And then you have to
mm,
be there like an hour early. You have to go through security. You get on the plane and you're on the plane for 30 minutes. And then you have to rent a car and then you have to drive in Jacksonville. And it's like, oh, I don't think this is saving me any time at all.
no, it's like whenever anytime you fly, it's a minimum of like an 8 hour day, even if it's a short flight.
Yeah.
Um, what are you doing for Cinco de Mayo? Do you have big plans?
Um, no, I don't really have big plans. The school is having teacher appreciation week though, and
Mm.
I have to do I have to buy them senior soul. So that's
Oh, fun. That's a nice thing to get them.
yeah, it's we're cool. We're a cool parent teacher organization.
Wait, where is Senior Soul now?
Senior Soul is the one that's in the gas station over on Tallahassee.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I just got my final paper back from my internship class.
Oh, cool.
I got a
Did
100.
oh wow, that's the best score. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You won.
Ne
You
Thank you.
win.
Next, I have to apply for my board test. That's coming up this week or next.
A board test. So
Hmm.
it's like defending your thesis or something.
No, it's the National Counselor's exam.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. So
So you could be a counselor in any state?
no, it's first I have to be certified in Texas. No, they don't have the compact law yet where you can be in other states. I can get certified in other states or licensed in other states, but it's not.
That's how most professional occupations go. You just have to do state by state certification.
It's kind of stupid. Some of it's really stupid because some states make it really hard. And
Hmm.
some states make it easier. Texas makes it harder. There's this compact where there's more reciprocity. You still have to go through things, but it's just a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But Texas doesn't do that right now. But I think my goal was to get licensed in Texas, and then I was possibly going to see what the requirements are for Georgia, just because I'm
Hmm.
like, well, I have some connections there. I mean, by that time it'll be so many years they might forget who I am, but some people won't.
Yeah, I think I wonder if it has anything to do with the problems that people have, like the problems that people have in Texas, or
Are
are they the
different.
same as the problems people have in New Jersey?
We're all fucked up. We're all fucked up. No, my clients are not fucked up. We're all have our problems. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think it's part of like keeping the counselors in Texas, making sure we stay in Texas.
Hmm.
So I don't know, but I'm excited to get out of town this weekend. If all my plans align, it'll be a really great weekend.
You
If all
know
my
what
plans,
I'm getting excited for is like bathing suits and like pools, and
oh, it's
I f
already cool.
I feel like that is how I relate to summer. It's how I cope with summer, maybe,
Mhm.
but it's also how I like get into summer. So I want to switch that gear and just be there, but we've still had some like cool kind of rainy days.
Okay, yeah, it's supposed to rain this whole weekend too when I go to town. Hopefully the weather won't be bad for my drive, but it's already been pool weather here.
Yeah.
I love summer. I don't love being in a bathing suit, but I also need a tan,
But
so
don't you love looking at people in bathing suits?
no.
No.
Well, no, it's not true. I like a nice chiseled abs.
12 pack.
Yeah, it can even be like a 2 6 pack, maybe a 4 pack, like just give me something. But no, like women in like seeing other women in bikinis, I just judge myself.
Yeah. Um, no, I just like seeing some skin on adults. I like hot bodies.
Yeah. I mean, I can also appreciate a good female body, but then I'm like, ugh. No, but our pool's been open. I don't think our pool actually ever closes, but well, it's actually closed today, so it's not even true. But for maintenance. But yeah, I'm bringing my bathing suit this weekend. One of my bathing
Nice.
suits because we might have a pool day if the weather permits.
Yeah, I hope you get out there. We have these paddle boards. I want to get out on the water
Oh,
and
nice.
paddleboard.
Paddleboarding's fun. I haven't been in a long time. I used to go a few times this summer. Um, so for those of you who were not with us earlier live or watched the live replay, is that what it's called? Replay? Bam, bam. I don't know. That was my
The
replay
VOD.
sound.
The
We
VOD.
did a promo that you'll be hearing soon, so be on the lookout for a messy
Oh yeah.
promo.
If you
Um,
if you are listening to the podcast right now, you can, when you're done, you can watch this whole thing live on YouTube.
yep,
youtube.com/at Athens Public. Is that how you slash at? That's
I
pretty
think
cool.
so. Slash
Slash
that.
at.
You can hear all of the, you can see it again, you can see our promo. And I'll have
I
some
I'm holding up
stories.
a pen that you can see. It says Jesus is the reason for the season. I don't know where we
I'm
got this
blowing
pen.
my microphone. Um, yeah, but I should have some stories from the weekend next week. Anything you want to add besides?
No, I'm glad we got to connect. I hope we get to do this again sometime.
Yeah, I hope so. It'd be nice to see you again.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
And I closed out the music thing, so I'm just not even gonna, I'd rather trying to put it back up because that's a little hard for me sometimes. A little too many things going on at once.
Yeah.
So until next time, send us all your questions. Check out my so-called mess. Once grad school's over, I feel like I could be, or maybe over my break, get a little more back into social media. But check out my so-called mess, DM us, send us any questions, thoughts. Check us out on YouTube. Again, it's my so-called mess. Peace out. Oh, and in like 2 or 3 days, Masturbation May starts. So get prepared. Start early. Have a great day. Bye. Peace. All right. File, export MC. Episode 216, I believe. What are we calling this?
Oh,
We
dang.
said, and I said I was gonna have like a little notebook to like,
Yeah, what did we talk about? Your car? We talked about your car for a while.
we talked about
Um,
birth, we talked about sex ed.
sex ed. Yeah. Yeah. We didn't talk about anything.
Sex ed and cars.
Yeah. I think I think that's it.
All right. Sex ed and I put cams.
Oh, wait, what was no, 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 no. Miss Big Tits. Like, what was it?
Miss Tits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good title.
Ms. Zach, I'm gonna spell it Zach Otis.
I really found that one at the last minute.
You did, I think I spelled it right. It doesn't matter here. Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
save it here. How come that little thing did, oh yeah, it did. Track title. Ms. Zach. Oh,
It's
yes.
so funny. The more you say it, the funnier it gets.
I said 216.
Yeah,
I don't
you've
know.
got 216 on here. I can look it up.
No, it's okay. I'll figure it out in a second. If it's not, I'll just change it on when it doesn't matter.
All right,
I'll
cool.
find it. All right, so I'm stopping this. Thank you so much for your help earlier.
Yeah, no, I think we figured it out.
Hopefully,
I'll try to remember what we did, and that will help us next time.
yeah, I don't know what we did. And then next week, just so you know, for the next few weeks, I know everybody wants to know this live. Um, I will be, I'll have availability. Well, one of them I'm getting my face done. But after next week is the 8th, that week, I
Yeah,
will have, wait, no, I'm
it's
wrong.
it's the third, fourth, it's the fifth through the something.
Okay, I don't know what time I'm coming back on Tuesday. If I'm back on Tuesday, I'll have Tuesday all day open. If I'm
Hmm.
back on Wednesday, and then I have some time either early Thursday or Thursday afternoon.
Tuesday or
So,
Thursday next week.
yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll try and be available.
Okay, and just let me look at your schedule and tell me what's good for you, and I can and then figure that out. All
Yeah.
right.
All right.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. It was fun. I'll see you
Thanks,
later.
it was.
Bye.
Bye.